Okay, we're going to go over common $1 million mistakes made by private investors and family offices. If you are working with an investor and you see them making one of these mistakes, then obviously this is a way to add massive value to somebody or design your offering so that you're not contributing to one of these mistakes. You're helping them avoid one of it by the nature of the structure of your offering. One thing that comes up quite often is investors thinking that they are benefiting from diversification, and everybody does at some extent, but they take it too far in every part of their portfolio and they get what we refer to as diversification, meaning that you're worse off than you were before you started to try to diversify to an extreme. We see this most often in the area of direct investments. What happens is that somebody becomes liquid. They don't think about their strategies, their plan. They don't have a dashboard. They don't have a formalized family office. They start allocating into many different startups that are all high risk. And now they have startups in 15 different industries. They only know how to add value to 2 or 3 of those. And so when the investments go sideways, they can't do anything to fix them. They can't run the company. They can't even identify the talent that needs to run the business. So this happens quite often with many investors right after they become liquid. Another $1 million mistake is investing right away, whether it's extreme diversification or not, without a set strategy. Some investors lose millions of dollars within months by not having that in place. Others have a consistent long-term lack of coordination. Some teams don't talk to other parts of the team. Some analysts or $200,000 a year professionals will spend 6 to 9 months on a deal, and the family has no interest in doing that deal, and they just haven't told them because they were busy, which might seem crazy, but when you have 2,000 employees and 100 LLCs and you're constantly traveling, then that can easily happen. So the team not being aligned can be a really expensive mistake. The next one here is overspending and allocating. Oftentimes it's right after a liquidity event. One athlete famously signed up 30 of their friends for car leases, and he was paying for 30 car leases, and it was one professional athlete. One of my clients bought 4 private jets, including a fighter jet, right after having the liquidity event. And I guess one way to look at this is you can do whatever you'd like with your money. If you spent 30 years earning it, it's your money. But for those who do want to avoid mistakes that burn millions of dollars really quickly, this is one of those. Buying a 10 or 15 or $20 million residence that is at the top of the market and is usually the most expensive house in its neighborhood and is maybe at an all-time high is something that families do right after a liquidity event because again, they've quote unquote earned it. But what most people learn over time is that they want to have multiple houses and they're constantly traveling, and it's a lot of upkeep and maintenance, and you need someone to actually manage the property full time. And when they want to sell it, they might have to sell it for $3 to $5 million less than what they bought it for because they rushed into the purchase decision right after becoming liquid. So I've seen that happen with multiple clients. It doesn't have to be about it being $20 million. It has to be about not making a sharp financial decision. You make a rash decision because of being newly liquid. Lack of control in different situations is another problem that leads to loss of capital many times, either lack of transparency or family control issues, governance issues. This is something that can cause family conflict, but also lose a lot of capital for the family consistently, we've seen. So one thing we try to